Part 19. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 181. The Xianxia Palace floats in the void above the Suji Peak, and the Yama Palace is hidden at the bottom of the Chaos Star Sea. Among the three major forces, only Spirit Beast Island has appeared in the eyes of the world for a long time, but this is related to the purpose of each force. Nothing surprising. Lin Su smiled lightly and said, "I'm going to the Palace Lord's mansion. Take Pinger for a walk around the city. If you're tired, go to the mansion to rest." The mansion Lin Su was talking about was naturally his mansion in Yama City. Although he had not been back for a long time, he thought that the servants who came to the mansion would definitely take care of it in order, because these servants were personally selected by the Emperor of Yama. Diamond suit, diamond suit. Go, go, go. Pinger waved her hand. Her attention was no longer on Lin Su. It seemed that shopping was indeed a woman's nature. Lin Su was speechless and could only respond with a helpless smile, turned around and walked towards the palace of Emperor Yama. Lin Su walked straight into the Palace Lord's mansion without any notification, or handing over any greeting cards. On the way, he met several servants from the Palace Lord's mansion, who greeted him as if they already knew he was coming, and showed him the way. Still in the pavilion in the backyard of the Palace Lord's mansion, just like when Lin Su and Emperor Yama met alone for the first time, Emperor Yama was sitting in the pavilion, with some fruits and a pot of wine placed on the stone table. Seeing Lin Su enter the pavilion, Emperor Yama tilted his head and motioned for Lin Su to sit down and poured a glass of wine for Lin Su. Lin Su was not polite. He cupped his fists and bowed before sitting across from him. He raised his glass and drank it all in one gulp. He praised, "Good wine. I can't believe that the master of the palace enjoys it so much." "Really? Why do I think you are such a lingering kid?" Emperor Yama raised his brows and said with a smile, "You kid is living a very comfortable life on Spirit Beast Island. I thought you had forgotten about Yama Palace." "Palace Master, you are really good at joking. How could I forget about Yama Palace?" Lin Su smiled disapprovingly. "Besides, there seems to be no difference between practicing in Yama Palace and practicing on Spirit Beast Island, right?" "Okay." Emperor Yama seemed not to want to argue with Lin Su on this topic anymore. "If you don't go to the Three Treasures Hall for anything, you must have something to do when you come to visit me. Let's be honest, what do you want me to help you with?" "The Lord of the Palace is indeed wise, I can't hide anything from you." Lin Su chuckled, "That's right. Lin really needs help from the Palace Master for something. I would like to ask the Palace Master to activate the power of the Yama Palace to help me find the ultra-long-distance teleportation array leading to the world of immortality." "A super long-distance teleportation array leading to the world of immortality?" Emperor Yama raised his head in surprise. "You want to go to the world of cultivating immortals? Are you from the world of cultivating immortals?" "Yes, I do come from the world of immortality." Lin Su nodded. "I remember I told you, Lord Palace Master, that I was a snow python with spiritual eyes who was framed and had my body destroyed and then took away my body. Originally, I was a person in the world of immortality, but I didn't know why after I woke up. We arrived at Chaotic Star Sea. Master, if you were me, would you want to go back and seek revenge on the enemies who plotted against you after you gained great strength?" "I see." Emperor Yama understood. "So you want to go back to the world of immortality to take revenge?" "That's right. With your current strength, even I can't underestimate you. You are qualified for revenge." "Lord Hall Master, I don't want to go back now. No matter what, I have to wait until I break through to the nascent soul stage and have absolute strength before I go back." Lin Su shook his head. "But before that, we have to find a way to go back. When it comes to the network of relationships, among the three major forces in the Chaotic Star Sea, our Yama Palace is the strongest, so I want to ask the Palace Master for help." "I'm busy." Boylin, I can help you find out the information, but MaleProtagonist always clearly marks the price and never does business at a loss. Do you understand what I mean? That's natural. I don't want the Lord's help to go in vain. Lin Su turned his hand, and a soul-nurturing wooden amulet appeared in his hand. Do you think this is enough, Lord Hall Master? Soul-nurturing wood. A flash of light flashed in the eyes of Emperor Yama. With his eyes, he could see the extraordinary power of the soul-nurturing wooden talisman. He grabbed it in his hand. Just like Yewuji, the Emperor of Yama could not resist the soul-nursing wooden talisman. The temptation, the expression on his face was filled with surprise and satisfaction. Good boy, you can get good things like soul-nurturing wood. Emperor Yama directly put the soul-nurturing wooden amulet into his arms. Okay, just focus on this treasure, and I will do my best to help you find out the whereabouts of the ultra-long-distance teleportation array. Thank you, Lord Palace Master. By the way, if you really can't find it, the road map in the deserted space will also work. Boy, I can understand your eagerness to return to the world of immortality, but don't make fun of your own life. Even I dare not set foot in the desolate space. Now no monk in the entire human world dares to enter it. No one dares to enter it. At the stage of cultivation, the mountainous pressure alone is enough to crush you into a meat pie. I advise you to give up the idea of returning to the world of immortality from the desolate space. Rightward arrow. Emperor Yama frowned and said seriously. If I can return to the world of immortality through the teleportation array, I naturally don't want to take risks in the desolate space, but to be on the safe side it's better to be prepared. Don't worry, Lord, because if I'm not sure, I will never enter the desolate space. Please also ask, Lord. Sir, please help me find out. Lin Su raised his hands to Emperor Yama and said seriously. It seems that you have a plan for a long time. Okay, in that case, I won't say any more. I will give instructions on these two matters and let the informants of MaleProtagonist do their best to find out. Thank you, Lord Palace. After coming out of the Palace Lord's Palace of Emperor Yama, Lin Su returned to the mansion. Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu hadn't come back yet, presumably because they hadn't had enough shopping. After asking his servants to prepare 2 banquet tables and sending one into the linked yen space for the tyrant Bear King to satisfy his appetite, Lin Su released the Jade Rakshasa Shen Baiun and started drinking together in the pavilion in the backyard. Yama City is located deep in the sea, and the sun cannot reach it at all. Shen Baiun does not have to worry about being consumed by the power of the golden Sunday. Moreover, the delicacies of the human world still have a lot of temptations for Shen Baiun. Plus Lin Su deliberately tried to please Lin Su, and soon Shen Baiun started chatting and told Lin Su about her experience. According to Shen Baiun, she was also a monk in the world of immortality during her lifetime, but she was not a disciple of the 5 major immortal sects, but a disciple of a family of immortals. Because of her beauty, she was spotted by an inner disciple of the 5 Elements sect, and she was forced to marry her but failed. The killer killed hundreds of members of his family. Although Shen Baiun could not escape death, he saved his soul and entered the ghost world. Shen Baiun's talent during her lifetime was average, but her soul power was different from ordinary people. Because of this, she was able to quickly stand out in the ghost world, and eventually became the Jade Rakshasa, one of the 4 great Rakshasa women in the ghost world. Time has passed. Thousands of years have passed since Shen Baiun's death, and the enemies from back then have long since disappeared. In addition, she is in the ghost world and cannot return to the human world. Shen Baiun's thoughts of revenge slowly fade away. If it weren't for Lin Suti when she arrived at the 5 Elements sect, she might have long forgotten this dusty past. So Sister Shen, you and the 5 Elements sect also have a lot of grudges. Lin Su's heart lit up when he heard this, and he turned his eyes and asked tentatively, if there is a chance for you to return to the world of immortality now, will you seek revenge from the 5 Elements sect? If there is such an opportunity, Auntie, I will naturally go out and vent my anger. A trace of murderous intent flashed in Shen Baiyun's eyes. Although her enemy had died long ago, her descendants must still be there. What's more, it was precisely because of the five elements' sex protection and connivance of its disciples that Shen Baiyun's family was wiped out. If she had the chance to return to the world of immortality, she would of course have to settle the bloody accounts with the five elements sect. Xiao Linzi, is there a way for you to return to the world of immortality? Shen Baiyun was just a young disciple of a cultivating family back then, and was not exposed to many secrets at all. Therefore, she did not know the relationship between the world of cultivating immortals and the sea of chaotic stars. She knew very well that the place she was in now was not hers. Even if the places where they lived were both in the human world, they would probably be separated by thousands of rivers and mountains. After getting along with each other in the past few years, Shen Baiyun has a certain understanding of Lin Su. This guy will never talk about unfounded things. Since he mentioned returning to the world of immortality, he must be certain. There is a way, but I need your help, sister. Lin Su described the matter of the ultra-long-distance teleportation array and the desolate space. Now it depends on whether Yamaluadian can find out the exact location of the ultra-long-distance teleportation array. If it can be found, it will be the best. No, if we don't, we will have no choice but to go back to the realm of immortality through the desolate space. According to what you said, Xiao Linzi, as long as there is a definite route, sister, I don't mind taking you back to the world of immortality. Shen Baiyun understood Lin Su's thoughts as soon as she heard it. If she couldn't find the ultra-long-distance teleportation circle in the end, she would need her help to cross the desolate space. She didn't have any objections to this. If Lin Su could get a specific road map, if so, she wouldn't mind helping Lin Su. Then let me thank Sister Shen first. Lin Su was overjoyed. It would be great if Shen Baiyun was willing to help. It is not a simple matter to find the specific location of the ultra-long-distance teleportation circle, but there should be no problem if we get the route to the deserted space. Otherwise, the Emperor of Hell heard that at that time when Lin Su had this plan, he must have refused instead of persuading. Husband, what do you want to thank Sister Shen for? Yeping'er's voice came from behind. Lin Su looked back and saw Yeping'er and Leng Lingyu walking into the pavilion holding hands. That's it? Lin Su briefly described the plan and method of returning to the world of immortality. Husband, we will go back with you then. I also want to see how beautiful Sister Zizhou'er, who has made my husband miss me day and night, is as beautiful as a fairy. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 182. Yeping'er and Leng Lingyu insisted on returning to the world of immortality with Lin Su, which moved Lin Su quite a lot. They both said that husband and wife are birds in the same forest. When disaster strikes, they will fly separately. If they really return to the world of immortality from the desolate space, what will happen to them? The danger was certainly not small, but the two women made the decision without even thinking about it. With a wife like this, what more could a husband want? Lin Su did not return to Spirit Beast Island right away. Yama City was very big and there would definitely be endless sightseeing in 1 or 2 days. Yeping'er was very interested, so Lin Su didn't want to spoil her interest. Besides, he hadn't returned to Yama City in so many years. It would not be appropriate to leave right away as soon as I came back, so I stayed in Yama City for the time being. Lord Shura, Lord Palace Master, please come over and discuss something with me. After staying in Yama City for half a year, suddenly one day, the servants of Emperor Yama's house were ordered to invite Lin Su to come to the house, saying that it was Emperor Yama who invited him. Have you found the ultra-long-distance teleportation circle? An idea flashed through Lin Su's mind, and he followed the servant to the palace lord's mansion with some excitement. I wonder why the lord of the palace came to me for something important? Could it be that there is news about the ultra-long-distance teleportation circle? Emperor Yama seemed to like staying in the pavilion in the backyard. This meeting was still in the pavilion. As soon as they met, Lin Su asked impatiently. "It can't be that fast." Emperor Yama glanced at Lin Su, who was eager, in a funny way, and changed his words. "I have some idea of the correct route map in the desolate space. Don't worry, since I promised you, I will try my best." Lin Su also found that he was a little too excited. He was not even in the early stage of yuanying. Even if he discovered the ultra-long-distance teleportation circle, he would not be able to go back immediately. Lin Su laughed awkwardly, and asked, "Then why did the Lord of the Palace come to me? I do have something to discuss with you." Emperor Yama took out a token that looked like gold but not gold, and looked like jade but not jade, and placed it in front of Lin Su. "This is..." Lin Su grabbed the token in his hand, and an ancient aura suddenly spread from the token to Lin Su's heart. From his perception, Lin Su knew that this token was by no means simple. The heavenly spirit realm is about to appear. Emperor Yama finally uttered a sentence softly, as if mumbling to himself. "The world of heaven and spirit." Lin Su was confused. He could hear a hint of uncontrollable anticipation, excitement, and even a hint of uneasiness in the words of Emperor Yama. To be able to let Emperor Yama contain so many emotions in one sentence, "the spiritual world is by no means simple." The current Emperor of Yama can be said to have stood at the pinnacle of the human world. Lin Su can sense that the cultivation of Emperor Yama has reached the stage of great perfection in the late nascent soul, and he is only one step away from breaking through to the stage of divine transformation. In just over 3 years, from the mid-nascent soul to the late nascent soul great perfection state, the cultivation speed of Emperor Yama put even the demon spirit-bodied Lin Su to shame, and his reputation as a genius was well deserved. In terms of strength, Emperor Yan Luo is now the veritable number one in the chaotic star sea. When he was in the middle stage of yuanying, he could compete with Su Kangsheng and Yewuji in the late stage of yuanying, let alone now. To be able to make the current Emperor Yama experience such big mood swings, this heavenly spiritual realm must be a magical place. The heavenly spirit realm is an independent small world. It was formed after the spiritual world separated from the human world 5,000 years ago. There are countless geniuses and treasures in it that are not found in the human world, as well as transmission channels to the spiritual world. Lin Su's pupils shrank suddenly. He didn't care too much about geniuses and treasures, but what Emperor Yama said about the transmission channel to the spiritual world caught his attention. In this spiritual world, is there really a passage to the spiritual world? Since the spiritual world was separated from the human world, in the past 5,000 years, there has never been a master above the divine transformation stage in the human world, as if suppressed by some kind of law of heaven and earth. According to ancient records, the stage of transformation into gods has truly entered a new level. The accumulation of energy is important, but what is more important is the understanding and control of the laws of heaven. To do this, you must have a medium soul and spiritual power. There is no soul energy and spiritual power in the human world. Only the aura of heaven and earth in the spiritual world contains soul energy and spiritual power. Therefore, no matter how talented you are and how hard you practice, if you cannot reach the spiritual world, you cannot reach a higher level. At this level, even if you barely reach the pseudo-god stage, as long as you are still trapped in the human world, sooner or later your lifespan will be exhausted and the path of life and death will disappear. Therefore, when he heard that there was a passage to the spirit world in the heavenly spirit world, Lin Su's expression changed. Lin Su always behaved like this, not to mention the Emperor of Yama who was on the verge of breaking through. If he didn't go to the spirit world, then it can only be trapped in the Dzogchen in the later stage of nascent soul. There is indeed a passage to the spiritual world, but I don't know where it is in the spiritual world. Emperor Yama had already controlled his emotions and said calmly after hearing this, but as long as you enter it, there is always a chance to find it. The heavenly spirit realm has always been wandering in the endless void, and it takes a long time to arrive in it every time. The appearance of the human world can take up to 1,000 years, and the shortest time is 500 years. After this time, the next time will have to wait at least 500 years, and I don't have that much time to wait. Lin Su was silent. Although the lifespan of an immortal cultivator is far longer than that of ordinary people, it is still limited. Although the lifespan of the nascent soul stage is up to 2,000 years, it is usually around 1,500 years. Lin Su does not know the true nature of the Emperor Yama. Age, but thinking about it, he is not too young. It is rare to wait until the Tianling realm appears, and of course he is not willing to let go of this opportunity. Then I congratulate the Lord of the Palace on finding the transmission channel to the spirit world in the heavenly spirit world and successfully landing in the spirit world. After a long silence, Lin Su's mouth curled up slightly with a smile, and he bowed to the King of Hell and congratulated him. Unexpectedly, as soon as Lin Su finished speaking, King of Hell shook his head. It was not me who found the transmission channel, but you and I found the channel together. Together? Lord of the Palace means that you and I should enter the heavenly spirit world together. Of course. Otherwise, why would I ask you to come here? You don't think I just want to get your congratulations, do you? But I'm not even in the nascent soul stage now. I'm afraid I can't help Lord of the Palace if I go in. What's more, I have to go back to the immortal cultivation world, and I have no plans to go to the spirit world for the time being. What Lin Su is thinking about now is how to return to the immortal cultivation world to reunite with Zizuir and meet his good brother Zhang Yunfan. He will go to the spirit world one day, but not now. I didn't tell you to go to the spirit world with me now. Yan Luo Tianzi looked at Lin Su, who was puzzled, and laughed. In addition to the passage to the spirit world, there are also many natural treasures in the spirit world. These are all good things that are not available in the human world. There will always be something you like. What's more, if you find the location of the transmission passage to the spirit world as soon as possible, you will be familiar with it when you enter the spirit world next time. Lin Su looked at Yan Luo Tianzi's eyes steadily, but did not find anything strange in his eyes. After a while, he asked, "Why me?" "It's very simple, because you are strong enough." Yan Luo Tianzi narrowed his eyes slightly. The spirit world is the transit area between the human world and the spirit world. If you are not strong enough to enter it, you can't even protect yourself. Originally, it was less than UN. Infants cannot enter, but you are different. Even Su Yuniang suffered a great loss at your hands. Your strength is enough to be on par with me. This Tianling token can allow two people to enter the Tianling realm. I think about it, and you are the most suitable one in the entire Yama Palace. The Lord of the Palace really thinks highly of me. I was able to defeat Su Yuniang by using the secret method. My own strength is far inferior to that of the Lord of the Palace. The secret method is also a kind of strength. I have always been very accurate in judging people. I give you this opportunity because I believe you can help me. Don't refuse it." Yan Luo Tianzi didn't say anything more. He lowered his head and tasted the wine in the glass carefully. He had said everything he should say. The opportunity had been given to Lin Su. Whether he could grasp it or not depended on Lin Su himself. Lin Su didn't answer immediately. He also lowered his head to think about it. The pavilion fell into silence for a while. As Yan Luo Tianzi said, it takes strength to obtain treasures. Without a certain strength, entering the Tianling realm is to seek death. In this regard, Lin Su is still somewhat confident in himself. Although he is only in the late stage of Jindan, his overall strength is not inferior to that of the cultivators in the early stage of Jindan. Even if he does not rely on the power of Tyrant Bear King, relying on the Dian 5 elements sword formation, Lin Su has the confidence to fight with Su Yuniang. Anyway, there is no news about the ultra-long-distance teleportation formation back to the Xianxian world. so it is better to go to the Tianling realm with Yan Luo Tianzi to see, maybe he can get some treasures, break the dank hunging as soon as possible and improve his cultivation to the yuanying stage. Master, I've made up my mind. I'm willing to accompany you into the heavenly spirit realm. Good. You're brave. I didn't make a mistake. Yan Luo Tianzi smiled. The entrance to the heavenly spirit realm should be opened within half a year, so be prepared. Yes, master. Then I'll take my leave first. After leaving the palace master's mansion and returning to the mansion, Lin Su informed Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu of the conversation between Yan Luo Tianzi and him, and asked the two women to return to the Spirit Beast Island to practice in peace, but they were unanimously opposed. Husband, no matter what you say, I will enter the heavenly spirit realm with you this time. Ye Ping'er had a no negotiation expression on her face. Sister Ping'er is right. Maybe we can't help you, husband, but as long as we can be with you, it's enough. Leng Lingyu's attitude was also firm. But the heavenly spirit token can only allow 2 people to enter at a time. You can't go there even if you want to. According to what King Yan Luo said, the heavenly spirit realm must be full of dangers. Lin Su didn't want Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu to take risks with him, so he used this restriction as an excuse. Husband, we can hide in your spiritual field space. Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu looked at each other and smiled cunningly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 183. Lin Su was stunned and smiled bitterly. What a miscalculation. How could he forget this? The linked yen space is the space in Lin Su's body. It has long been integrated with Lin Su. Naturally, it will not be restricted by the Tianling token. Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu are in it, so it should be no problem for them to enter the Tianling realm. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Lin Su really didn't expect that his honesty with Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu about the linked yen space would become the reason for the 2 women to refute him. Looking at the 2 women's firm expressions, Lin Su knew that no matter how much he persuaded them, it would be useless. He could only touch his nose and acquiesce to this fact. 5 months later. Master Shura, the lord of the palace invites you to come to the mansion. You go first, I'll come after I pack up. Lin Su knew in his heart that the Tianling realm must have descended into the human world. It happened that Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu went shopping. If he sneaked out now, it would be too late for them to find out. Having made up his mind, Lin Su left a sound transmission jade slip on the desk and quietly slipped out of the room. As a result, he saw Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu guarding the gate as soon as he walked to the city lord's mansion. Looking at the 2 women staring at him, Lin Su touched his nose awkwardly. Ping'er, didn't you go shopping? What a coincidence. Yes. What a coincidence. If we didn't stay here, you would leave without saying goodbye, right? Leng Lingyu sneered. How is it possible? It was the palace master who came to me to discuss something. How could I leave you? Lin Su's expression was a little embarrassed. He didn't expect to be caught by the 2 women. It was really unlucky. Really? Lord Palace Master, what else is there for you to do besides the heavenly spirit realm when you are looking for your husband at this time? Leng Lingyu looked at Lin Su's embarrassed look and rolled her eyes at him unhappily. Why don't you let us enter the spirit field space? Oh. Lin Su was about to open the entrance to the spirit field space as he was told, but suddenly stopped. This was at the gate of the city lord's mansion. Who knew if the king of hell was secretly investigating? It would be bad if he discovered the secret of the spirit field space. This is not a place to talk. Let's go back to the mansion first. Holding Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu on the left and right, Lin Su quickly ran back to his mansion. After opening the barrier, He opened the entrance to the spirit field space and pointed with his hand, "It's okay now, two ladies, please." As soon as Lin Su entered the door, he sucked the sound transmission jade slip on the case into his hand and crushed it. This scene was seen by Leng Lingyu, but Leng Lingyu did not expose it. She just smiled meaningfully at Lin Su and pulled Ye Ping'er into the entrance. Nothing can be hidden from this girl Leng Lingyu. Needless to say, she must have arranged spies in the mansion, and her whereabouts could not escape her eyes at all, otherwise how could she and Ye Ping'er be waiting for me in the palace master's mansion by chance? After all, Leng Lingyu is also the third Shura of the Yama Palace. I am really too careless. With a helpless bitter smile, Lin Su cancelled the barrier and walked towards the palace master's mansion. "I have already walked to the door, why did you go back to the mansion again?" As soon as they met, the king of Yama laughed and joked. "Don't mention it, I was blocked by the two ladies. I have to appease them before I can come." Lin Su kept shaking his head and smiling bitterly, half truthfully. "It turns out that the backyard is on fire." The king of Yama looked gloating, which made Lin Su's teeth itch. Why didn't he realize that this guy was so mean before? Rolling his eyes in annoyance, Lin Su was speechless about the bad taste of Yan Luo Tianzi, and simply pretended not to hear. "Palace Master, is the heavenly spirit realm appearing?" "Yes, the heavenly spirit realm is about to descend upon the world of immortal cultivation, and the entrance is in the void not far from Xianxia Palace. I have received the message from Xianxia." When it came to business, Yan Luo Tianzi put away his playful expression and turned into the cold lord of Yan Luo Palace. "Let's go, it's time to set off." Teleported from the teleportation array in the backyard to the city closest to Xianxia Palace, Yan Luo Tianzi and Lin Su set up a light and flew towards the entrance of the heavenly spirit realm. Because the entrance was in the void not far from the headquarters of Xianxia Palace, when Yan Luo Tianzi and Lin Su arrived, the people of Xianxia Palace were already there, a total of 4 people, in addition to Su Kangxian, the Lord, Su Qinkan, Su Yuniang, Su Tiandi, the 3 deputy lords were all present. To enter the heavenly spirit realm, you need a heavenly spirit token. 1 token can only allow 2 people to enter. 4 people came to the Xianxia Palace at once. It seems that there are 2 tokens. The overall strength of the Xianxia Palace is indeed stronger than that of the Yama Palace and the Spirit Beast Island. "Yan Luo Tianzi, why did you bring this kid here? Is a kid in the late Jindan stage also qualified to enter the heavenly spirit realm?" When Su Yuniang saw Lin Su, his face darkened. Last time, he was beaten like a dead dog by Lin Su on the Spirit Beast Island, and finally he was forced to agree to 3 humiliating conditions before he was able to get away. This matter has always been regarded as a great shame by Su Yuniang. Now when he sees Lin Su again, it would be strange if he can have a good face. Whether Lin Su is qualified to enter the heavenly spirit realm is my Yama Palace's business. When is it your turn, Su Yuniang, to make decisions? Before Lin Su refuted, Yan Luo Tianzi snorted coldly, his words were full of disdain. "King Yama, don't go too far." Su Yuniang's old face suddenly turned purple, and he roared in anger. "I bullied you, what do you think? To say that Su Yuniang has not been wasted these years, he has officially crossed over from the middle stage of nascent soul to the late stage of nascent soul, but it pales in comparison with the Emperor of Yama. He has already reached the great perfection state of the late stage of nascent soul, not to mention the fact that Emperor Yama has always had great fighting power. Extraordinary, and possessing magical powers, Su Yuniang, although his face turned red and his neck was thick with anger, he still did not dare to take action against Emperor Yama. Of course, if he really wants to take action, I'm afraid he will only be beaten to pieces." Lin Su felt happy when he saw it. Su Yuniang's expression of being angry but not speaking was really funny. Lin Su's smile was seen as naked ridicule in Su Yuniang's eyes. The old guy became even more angry. "Lin Su, don't be proud, you'd better not fall into my hands, Otherwise. How about otherwise? Lin Su interrupted Su Yunyang's words with a cold smile. If you are not convinced, let's practice together. The loser gets out and is not allowed to enter the heavenly spirit world. How about that? You. Su Yunyang is about to vomit blood. I'm really going to vomit blood? Having just been despised by the Emperor of Hell, and now being humbled by Lin Su, Su Yunyang felt like he was about to be exploded. But even so, he really didn't dare to take action against Lin Su. This kid Lin Su is so evil. He is only at the level of cultivation at the Dan formation stage, but he can increase his strength dozens of times in an instant. The last experience is like a nightmare that always lingers in Su Yunyang's mind. To Lin Su, he really felt guilty. The Tianling realm and his party are too important. Whether they can enter the spiritual realm depends on this time. If they miss it, Su Yunyang will have to wait for his lifespan to run out and dissipate between heaven and earth. He doesn't dare to bet because he can't lose. Rise. What? Are you afraid? Don't you dare to gamble? If you don't dare, then take care of your mouth and just stay aside. Lin Su glanced disdainfully at Su Yunyang, who had a face the color of pig liver, shook his head and sighed. There are some people who are not strong enough but always like to jump out and make noise. This is not typical. Palace Master, what do you mean? Has this person been kicked in the head by a donkey? He is hopelessly stupid. Puff. As soon as Lin Su finished speaking, Su Yunyang couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of old blood, staring at Lin Su with sorrow and anger. Lin Su was surprised when he saw Su Yunyang vomiting blood. He didn't expect this old guy to be so angry. But think about it, although Su Yunyang has lived for nearly 1,000 years and the city is quite deep, since he became the deputy master of Su Tian Palace, when has he ever been so arrogant and looked down upon and ridiculed by a boy in the late stage of pill formation? I don't dare to take action yet, and I can't just walk away. I can only endure it without vomiting blood. However, after spitting out this mouthful of blood, the tightness in Su Yunyang's chest was relieved a lot. He knew that he was no match for Lin Su in terms of eloquence, so he simply sat up cross-legged in the sky and meditated, turning a deaf ear. What a sharp-tongued boy. This old guy Su Yunyang is really short-sighted. He just got in there and caused trouble for himself. Su Yunyang was so angry that Lin Su vomited blood. Su Qincan and Su Tiandi's expressions were not very good looking either. Only Su Kangsheng's expression did not change, and there was a hint of ridicule in his eyes. Su Yunyang has always coveted the position of Su Kangsheng's palace master. Su Kangsheng has long known this. Su Yunyang suffered under Lin Su's hands. Su Kangsheng is happy to see this happen, but as the master of Su Kangsheng, he cannot showing happiness blatantly. One can only look at the nose with the eyes and the heart with the nose, as if he didn't see anything. The atmosphere suddenly became dull. The people in Xiushan Palace didn't speak, and Lin Su didn't bother to provoke them. He just stood quietly in the void, waiting for the arrival of the heavenly spirit world. Are you all here? It seems that I am the last to arrive, haha. After half a stick of incense, he remembered with a loud laugh that a stream of light flew from the sky, revealing Yewuji's figure. He was the only one coming to Spirit Beast Island. Su'er, why are you here too? When Yewuji saw Lin Su next to Emperor Yama, his expression suddenly changed. Father-in-law. Lin Su hurriedly saluted Yewuji. The master of the palace said that he wants me to enter the heavenly spirit world to experience it. Why, does Brother Ye also think that Mr. Lin is not qualified to enter the heavenly spirit realm? Emperor Yama raised his eyebrows and said calmly. How is that possible? My son-in-law is not qualified, so who is? Yewuji was stunned for a moment, then burst into laughter. Who dares to say that Su'er is not qualified? Su'er, just beat him so hard that he won't even recognize his mother. Puff. Su Yunyang had just calmed down. When he heard this, He immediately thought of the last time he was beaten by Lin Su, and suddenly another mouthful of old blood spurted out. Eh? Brother Yin Yang, what's wrong with you? Are you feeling unwell? If you're not feeling well, don't force yourself to enter the heavenly spirit realm, otherwise it won't be worthwhile to risk your life in it. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 184. Ye Wuji arrived late and did not see the scene where Lin Su made Su Yunyang vomit blood in anger. He did not know that his unintentional words were like a knife in Su Yunyang's already scarred heart, and he sprinkled salt at the end. In short, Su Yunyang is in a very bad state now. His face is blue and purple, and he is so angry that he almost fainted. If he had not thought of the hope of entering the spirit world, he would have fought with Lin Su and Ye Wuji regardless of everything. Brother Yunyang, are you really okay? Your face is very bad. Are you possessed? This is not a trivial matter. It is better to go back to Xianxia Palace to rest. If you can't enter the spirit world, you can still live for hundreds of years. Maybe you can wait until the next time the spirit world comes. Ye Wuji was still kindly persuading Su Yunyang. Su Yunyang was so angry that his face was like a dying workshop. The colors of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple kept changing. The expression in his eyes was no longer sad and angry. Too much bullying. Too much bullying. The hair on Su Yunyang's head stood up, and bursts of green smoke came out, which made Lin Su marvel. I had heard of people being furious and fuming, but I always thought it was just an exaggeration. I didn't expect to see it on Su Yunyang today. He was so angry that he could still hold back and not take action. Lin Su had to admire the old guy's endurance. Seeing that Su Yunyang's eyes gradually turned red and he was on the verge of going berserk, Lin Su hurriedly sent a message to Ye Wuji about what happened before. The Tianling realm was about to descend, and it was obviously not a wise choice to fight with Su Yunyang at this time. It turns out that this old guy was so angry because of Lin Su. Ye Wuji suddenly realized that it was no wonder that a few words from him could make the other party so angry. It turned out that Lin Su had been so angry that he vomited blood before. The overall situation was important. Ye Wuji smiled secretly in his heart, and rationally chose to shut up and stopped kindly comforting. Su Yunyang's mood that was about to go berserk gradually calmed down. However, as the saying goes, anger hurts the body. After being angry and spitting out 2 mouthfuls of blood, Su Yunyang had already suffered serious internal injuries. After calming down, he suddenly looked a little depressed. Everyone saw Su Yunyang's state, but everyone pretended to be unaware. It goes without saying that Yan Luo Tianzi, Ye Wuji and Lin Su were originally in a hostile relationship with Xianxia Palace. What's more, Su Yunyang's situation was caused by the joint efforts of the 3 people, so they could only feel secretly happy. As for the other 3 people in Xianxia Palace, Su Kangxian and Su Qinqin were in the same group. They were happy to see Su Yunyang like this. Although Su Tiandi always followed Su Yunyang's lead, seeing that Su Yunyang was defeated by Lin Su again and again and his prestige plummeted, Su Tiandi was also shaken in his heart. At this time, it was better not to express his position or stand in line, so as not to be targeted by Su Kangxian and find an opportunity to deal with him. So, the scene was divided into 3 groups. Yan Luo Tianzi, Ye Wuji and Lin Su were in one group, chatting and laughing. Su Kangxian, Su Qinqin and Su Tiandi were in one group. Although they didn't talk, they consciously stood together. Su Yunyang was alone. He didn't love his grandmother and uncle. He had a sullen face and tried his best to suppress his anger and practiced Qigong to heal his wounds. Su Yunyang was really miserable. As the deputy hall master of Xianxia Palace, he had a noble status. Even King Yan Luo and Ye Wuji dared not underestimate him in this chaotic star sea. However, he met Lin Su, a nemesis, and suffered a series of setbacks, which made him lose all his reputation in the chaotic star sea. His ambition to compete with Xianxia for the position of Hall Master was also shattered. For the past 3 years, Su Yuniang has been practicing hard in his own palace without taking a single step. He thought that he could finally be proud of himself after breaking through to the late stage of yuanying, but who would have thought that he would be pissed off by Lin Su again? Oh, God, you are so cruel to me, Su Yuniang. Why did you send a demon star like Lin Su to torture me? Su Yuniang screamed in grief and anger. 2 hours later, Lin Su suddenly felt a long breath from the ancient times spreading out from the void in front of him. Yan Luo Tianzi and others also raised their heads at the same time, staring at the void in front of them. Here it comes. The void rippled like water waves, and a vague shadow of the world slowly became clear. Unlike the transmission channel of the secret realm, the Tianling realm seemed to have crashed into the fairyland. The two interfaces intersected, and Lin Su could clearly see the rocks in the Tianling realm through the intersection. Set up the formation, isolate the breath. Xianxia, who had been keeping his eyes closed and silent, suddenly opened his eyes and shouted. In Lin Su's surprised eyes, Xianxia took out a formation plate and threw it into the air. Suddenly, a large formation expanded and covered the area within a radius of several miles. Yewuji kept casting mysterious spells, forming the phantoms of countless monsters, protecting all directions, while King Yanluo flashed like a ghost, and every pause was like lighting a candle in the void. In the blink of an eye, the 3 late-stage yuanying masters attacked at the same time, and the 3 great formations enveloped the entire void, and no trace of breath leaked out. Just as King Yanluo and the other 2 set up a large formation to isolate the breath, the heavenly spirit realm completely descended into the human world, and the 2 worlds overlapped in the void in front, and the ancient breath diffused from the intersection like a mirror, causing Lin Su's whole body to tremble slightly involuntarily. Is this the soul power? Along with this breath, the rich spiritual energy of heaven and earth in the heavenly spirit world spread out. Lin Su could clearly distinguish the difference between this spiritual energy of heaven and earth and the human world. There was an extra hint of Lin Su's soul in it. Cheering for joy and emitting energy like a fish's desire for living water, Lin Su knew very well that this should be the soul energy spiritual power mentioned by Emperor Yama. The interface has stabilized, let's go in. Emperor Yama grabbed Lin Su's arm, held the Tianling token in his left hand and flew towards the intersection of the 2 realms, as did Yewuji, Xianxia and others. When passing through the intersection of the 2 worlds, Lin Su clearly felt an extremely sharp space-tearing force suddenly added to his body. His whole person was about to be torn in half under this irresistible force. At this moment, Shi Tianling token emits a burst of red light, covering himself in it, and the force of space tearing disappears instantly, just like passing through a curtain of water. The next moment, Lin Su is already standing on a piece of solid land. The feeling of being on the verge of death at that moment made Lin Su couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. He couldn't help but look at the Tianling token in the hand of Emperor Yama, thinking that he was lucky to have this token to protect him, otherwise his life would have been lost just now. Kaka. A slight crisp sound came, and Lin Su couldn't help but feel his heart tremble, and then several more crisp sounds came one after another, and he saw that the Tianling token held in the hands of Emperor Yama and others was broken into pieces in the blink of an eye. It has become ashes all over the place. What's going on? Lin Su was stunned. The Tianling token can only be used once, and then it will break into pieces. There is nothing surprising. Yewuji on the side smiled and explained that although Lin Su participated in this trip to the heavenly spirit realm as a Shura of Yama Palace, he was his son-in-law, and his relationship was stronger than that with Emperor Yama. On this day in the spiritual world, we should support each other. Can it only be used once? Lin Su rolled his eyes, then how do we get out? Don't worry about this. The Tianling world is just a small world in transit. Any alien creature that does not belong to this small world will be rejected. We are now only protected by the Tianling token, so we can stay in it. After a year, Tianling, when the world leaves the human world, if we fail to find a way to the spirit world and enter it, we will be automatically excluded by the heavenly spirit world. I see. Lin Su felt relieved. He had never thought about going to the spirit world now. He had to go back to the immortal world to find Zizuer and Zhang Yunfan. After 1 year, they will be automatically excluded, and now there will be no worries. Boy Lin, don't be too happy. It's not that easy to survive in this spiritual world for a year. Seeing Lin Su looking relieved, Emperor Yama frowned and reminded him. Lin Su rolled his eyes. Is it dangerous here? Certainly. As if to verify that what Emperor Yama said was true, the moment his words fell, a wind blade was generated beside Lin Su without any warning, and it cut towards Lin Su. By the time Lin Su reacted, the wind blade had already reached him. Body. Apparition. At the critical moment, Lin Su almost instinctively used transformation, and his body disappeared from the place, and the afterimage left behind was instantly cut into pieces under the wind blade. Hi! Lin Su, whose figure was visible several feet away, felt a sharp pain in his left abdomen. Upon closer inspection, he couldn't help but gasp. A nearly 2-foot-long knife edge stretched from his left shoulder to his ribs, and the bone was clearly visible. All the internal organs were exposed. He had clearly dodged the wind blade just now, but he was still affected by the residual power. If he had reacted slower, he might have been cut in half by now, right? Haha, okay. This brat named Lin is injured, and the injury is not serious. God help me. Lin Su was injured. The expressions of Emperor Yan Luo and Yewuji suddenly changed, but Su Yunyang and others were overjoyed, especially Su Yunyang. He had long hated Lin Su to the bone. Now that he had such an opportunity, the murderous intention in his heart it rose uncontrollably. You brat, you're here too. It's impossible to recover from such a serious injury in a short while. I'm afraid you won't be able to use any secret techniques, right? Su Yunyang laughed wildly with a ferocious face. Boy, being too arrogant will not end well. Remember to be low-key in the next life. As soon as the words fell, Su Yunyang's murderous aura burst out without reservation, and he was going to kill Lin Su. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 185. Su Yunyang, what do you want to do? Yewuji roared loudly. Lin Su was his son-in-law. In his opinion, Ye Ping-er and Leng Lingyu were still at home waiting for Lin Su to return to reunite. How could he let Lin Su fall into the hands of Su Yunyang? Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. Brother Ye, this is a personal grudge between Su Yunyang and Lin Su. I advise you not to interfere. Before Su Yunyang could answer, Su Kangxian had already stepped in front of Yewuji. Yes, Su Kangxian and Su Yunyang cannot deal with each other, but that is just the internal conflict of Su Tian Palace. Compared with Lin Su, an external confidant, at some point, Su Kangxian is still willing to put aside his grudges temporarily and help Su Yunyang. Just like blocking Yewuji now and buying Su Yunyang time to kill the seriously injured Lin Su. With Su Kangxian's movement, Su Qincan and Su Yunyang also stood in front of Emperor Yama, but they were not as relaxed as Su Kangxian. Emperor Yama was now in the great perfection state of the late nascent soul, and his cultivation level was a small level higher than theirs, and even more, what's more, Emperor Yama's perverted fighting power is no joke. The two of them stopped in front of Emperor Yama, but their hearts felt hairy. Su Kangxian, Su Yunyang, if you really dare to hurt Su or even a hair, I will never let you go to Su Tian Palace. Yewuji was anxious. Lin Su's injury was quite serious at first glance. The secret method to improve strength might not be able to be used in such a physical condition. How could he be the opponent of Su Yunyang in the later stage of nascent soul? If something happens to Lin Su, what will happen to his precious daughters Ye Ping-er and Leng Lingyu? I have already said that this is a personal grudge between Su Yunyang and Lin Su. If Brother Ye wants to settle the score in the future, he can go to Su Yunyang and I will never stop him. Su Kangxian looked like he couldn't get in, he wouldn't let him get in the way, and he didn't want to take the responsibility, so he pushed it all to Su Yin and Yang. Okay, okay. It seems like you, Su Kangxian, are deliberately going against me. Ye Wuji laughed angrily, and took out a mysterious seal in his hand. He heard a roar like a dragon and a tiger, and a 10th level monster with a dragon head and a tiger body, with purple lightning and blazing fire all over its body, emerged from the purple jade on the middle finger of its left hand. He rushed out of the ring. Dragon Tiger Beast, the descendant of the mythical beast Yuki. No, this old ghost yet is going crazy. Su Kangxian's expression changed, and he secretly cried out that it was terrible. Although Ye Wuji was the owner of Spirit Beast Island, he had never seen him summon a spirit beast when fighting with others. Su Kangxian also did not expect Ye Wuji to do so. He would expose his trump card so quickly in order to save Lin Su, and he never expected that Ye Wuji's summoned beast would turn out to be an extremely rare monster like the Dragon Tiger Beast. It is said that the Dragon and Tiger Beast is the descendant of the divine beast Yuki. It is born with the ability to control thunder and fire, and it is equivalent to the 8-pole monster beast in the late stage of pill formation when it is born. It is extremely powerful. Ye Wuji's dragon and tiger beast has reached the age of 10 level, which is equivalent to the middle stage of Yuanying, but Su Kangxian does not dare to regard it as an ordinary mid-stage Yuanying monster. The strength of this dragon and tiger beast is probably no worse than that of the monks in the late stage of Yuanying. Ye Wuji's own strength is already strong enough, and with the addition of a dragon and tiger beast that is not inferior to ordinary late-stage nascent soul monks, Su Kangxian does not dare to be careless at all, otherwise Ye Wuji will be killed if he makes a mistake. Hands. Longhu, come on. With a loud shout, Ye Wuji took the lead and launched an attack on Su Kangxian. Su Kangxian did not dare to be careless and directly used the Xianxia cauldron to protect his whole body. The fight started. Do you two also want to stop me? On the other side, Emperor Yama looked at Su Kinkan and Su Tiendi with cold eyes. A translucent half-moon-shaped blade had appeared in his hand. It was Emperor Yama's famous magic weapon Suiyu Sanhua knife. This. Su Kinkan and Su Tiendi looked at each other with embarrassment on their faces. They knew very well that they were no match for Emperor Yama, but they had to stop him. Otherwise, not only would Su Kinkan not be able to spare them, but even Su Yin and Yang would hold grudges. Them. Master Yama, I'm sorry, you can't go there now. Okay, good. Emperor Yama's eyes flashed with cold light. The people of Xianxia Palace are really overbearing. They want to kill the people of Yama Palace in front of me. It seems that I have not taken action in these years, and no one knows the sharpness of Yama Sanhua. Humph. Before the cold snort fell, the figure of Emperor Yama had already disappeared, and the cold rays of light were overwhelming and attacking the vital parts of Su Kinkan and Su Yunyang. The two were shocked and used all their strength to jointly resist, and for a while and a half in an instant, Emperor Yama really couldn't defeat them. Boy, don't expect Emperor Yama and Ye Wuji to come to save you. The people I want to kill in Xianxia Palace. No one can save it. Seeing that Ye Wuji and Emperor Yama were blocked and unable to come to the rescue, Su Yunyang laughed proudly, looking at Lin Su with eyes like looking at a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, full of cruelty and pleasure like a cat playing with a mouse. Old ghost, do you really think you can defeat me? Didn't you get beaten enough last time? Lin Su suddenly laughed without any panic. Su Yunyang's expression changed. What did this kid mean? Could he be able to activate the secret technique again? Impossible, this kid must be bluffing. He was so seriously injured that even if he could activate the secret technique, his body couldn't bear it. How could he be my opponent? Yes, he is cheating, don't be fooled. These thoughts flashed through Su Yunyang's mind, and he showed an increasingly ferocious and cruel look on his face, and sneered, "Boy, if you want to deceive me, do you think I am scared? You didn't grow up scared, but you must have grown up stupid. Do you really think I have no power to resist?" Lin Su half knelt on the ground, with a mocking smile on his lips, just like the last time he went berserk and beat Su Yunyang. "Boy, no matter how eloquent you are dead today. Come and die." With a loud shout, Su Yunyang moved his palm, and a large energy handprint appeared out of thin air above Lin Su's head and shot down at Lin Su. It was the Su Tian Palace's unique skill Su Tian Big Handprint that Su Yunyang lost to Lin Su in order to survive. Shifting shapes. Just when the energy handprint was about to fall on Lin Su's head, Lin Su suddenly showed a mocking smile at the corner of his mouth, and the whole person suddenly disappeared. Su Yunyang originally thought that the Su Tian Big Handprint that was sure to hit was actually shot in vain. What? Su Yunyang was shocked. His face suddenly changed, and he looked at Lin Su, who showed up 10 feet away, in disbelief. This kid was obviously seriously injured. How could he dodge his Su Tian de Ma Seal so easily? Although he just attacked casually and didn't use his full strength, it was not something that a seriously injured person could dodge, right? Are you surprised? I've already said, do you really think I have no ability to resist? With a sneer on his lips, Lin Su stood up straight, and Su Yunyang's eyes suddenly widened. He clearly saw that the huge wound on Lin Su's body was recovering rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye, but it was restored to its original state in just 2 breaths. If it weren't for the torn robe, it would be impossible to tell that he had been injured before. No. How is this possible? You are obviously seriously injured. How could you recover so quickly? Su Yunyang rolled his eyes in disbelief. This is really too weird. Such a serious injury, recovered in a blink of an eye. Is this kid still a human? What a perverted recovery ability. Lin Su's instant recovery from his injuries not only stunned Su Yunyang, but also attracted the attention of Yan Luo Tianzi and others who were fighting, and they all stopped attacking. Su Kangxian looked at Lin Su, who was like nothing happened, with a gloomy face, and was very surprised. Lin Su's recovery ability was really too amazing. Su Yunyang was afraid that he would be unlucky again. I really didn't expect that this kid had such a trick. He is worthy of being my son-in-law. He is different, haha. Unlike Su Kangxian and others, Yewuji was also surprised, but more proud and happy. Yan Luo Tianzi also stopped attacking and looked at Lin Su with a little surprise. He knew that Lin Su was a dragon, but the dragon didn't seem to have such a strong recovery ability, right? Interesting. This kid seems to have a lot of secrets. Yan Luo Tianzi flashed a playful smile on his face. Lin Su, this kid, really brought him some surprises from time to time. Huh. The King of Hell stopped attacking, and Su Qinqin and Su Tiandi breathed a sigh of relief. Although they could temporarily resist the King of Hell, it was very strenuous. If they continued for a while longer, they would probably be injured by him. Looking at the fully recovered Lin Su, the two of them had a thought at the same time. The people in the King of Hell were all humming perverts, and Su Yunyang was in trouble. That's right, Su Yunyang was in trouble, because Lin Su, who had recovered from his injuries, was staring at him coldly, and the terrifying aura that he was very familiar with, like a nightmare, rose from Lin Su again. I didn't want to deal with you now, old ghost, but you asked for it. If someone wants to slap you in the face, then you slap him back hard, so that he no longer has the strength to raise his palm to you. This is the principle of life that Lin Su believes in now. Since Su Yunyang wants his life, Lin Su has nothing to be polite about. With a strong push of his feet, Lin Su's figure suddenly disappeared. The next moment, with a muffled sound, Su Yunyang was blown away like a cannonball. Boom boom boom. Amid the deafening roar, Su Yunyang's figure was hit by Lin Su like a ball and flew everywhere. A dignified late-stage Yuanying cultivator had no power to fight back under Lin Su and could only be beaten. This kid is ruthless. I like him, Yewuji grinned. Compared to the last time, he has become much stronger, this kid. Lin Su's cultivation has now broken through to the late stage of Jindan, and he can withstand more power from the tyrant Bear King. In the eyes of Yan Luo Tianzi and Su Kangxian, Lin Su has become much stronger. Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji nodded secretly, but Su Kangxian and the other three were more and more frightened, especially Su Qinqin and Su Tiandi, whose eyelids were twitching. Even Su Yinyang was beaten without the power to fight back, let alone them. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 186. What does it mean to want to cry but have no tears? Su Yunyang now truly experienced this. He fell from heaven to hell in an instant. This huge contrast was not the first time that Su Yunyang had endured, but this time it was more severe than before. Why? He was obviously seriously injured. Why did he recover in the blink of an eye? Su Yunyang really couldn't figure it out. Even the monsters that are good at recovery have never seen someone recover from injuries as quickly as Lin Su, not to mention that the injury can be considered fatal to ordinary people. How can a kid who is not even in the nascent soul stage have such a perverted recovery ability? Monster, this kid is definitely a monster. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward arrow. Ah! Su Yunyang roared in anger, but this did not change the situation that he was beaten by Lin Su. Although he had the Su Tianding to protect him this time, he was not Su Kangxian. The Su Tianding in his hand was only at the level of a low-grade spiritual weapon. Although it could protect him from injury, it could not release the huge impact force, and he was still beaten all over the field. Although he and Su Yunyang were not on good terms, Su Kangxian was still very clear about the principle of lips and teeth being cold. Seeing that Su Yunyang was completely suppressed, Su Kangxian could not help but want to go up to help, but was blocked by Yewuji. Su Kangxian, didn't you say that this was a personal grudge between Lin Su and Su Yinyang? If it's a personal grudge, then why are you rushing up in such a hurry? Just watch here with me peacefully. Just as Su Kangxian didn't want Yewuji to rescue Lin Su before, Yewuji didn't want Su Kangxian to intervene now, and he and the dragon tiger beast blocked Su Kangxian's way on the left and right. With the protection of Su Tianding, Su Kangxian was not afraid of the attack of Yewuji and the dragon tiger beast, but he didn't have the ability to break through the encirclement of the two, so he could only sigh and stop. Su Kangxian couldn't intervene, and Su Qinqin and Su Tiandi didn't have that ability, so it was fortunate that Yan Luo Tianzi didn't continue to attack them. For a while, Yewuji and the other five who were fighting in a group became quiet spectators, while Lin Su and Su Yinyang, who were standing still before, fought in a group. Of course, it was basically Lin Su who was suppressing Su Yinyang. Lin Su, you can't break my defense at all. There's no point in fighting any further. How about stopping now? After the initial grief and anger, Su Yunyang's emotions gradually calmed down. Although he seemed to be at a disadvantage and had basically no power to fight back, Lin Su couldn't break the defense of Su Tianding. Damn, the people of Su Tian Palace are all turtles. Lin Su couldn't help cursing. When he first fought with Su Kangxian, the other party also used Su Tianding. Now Su Yunyang is also the same. The people of Su Tian Palace have no other skills, but they are all good at taking a beating. I don't believe that I can't crush your turtle shell. Originally, Lin Su didn't want to fight with Su Yunyang now. After all, using the power of Tyrant Bear King for a long time would make himself weak, which is very dangerous in the crisis-ridden Tianling realm. Maybe he would be killed by the sudden appearance of wind blades, rockets, etc. when he was weak. But Lin Su didn't want to cause trouble, but others didn't let him go. When Su Yunyang saw that he was seriously injured, his ferocious face was exposed. He wanted to take advantage of the fire to rob. How could Lin Su hold back against such a guy? If you don't kill the snake, you will suffer from it. Since the power of Tyrant Bear King has been used, it is certain that he will fall into a weak state. In this case, what does it matter if he is weak for a longer time? Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation. Before, Lin Su had been attacking with his fists and had not used any magic weapons at all. Once the Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation composed of the 5 elements of spiritual swords was used, everyone's face suddenly changed wildly. What a terrifying power! This is the first time that the Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation has appeared in front of people. Under the urging of the Tyrant Bear King's power, it really has the terrifying power to crush everything. Su Yunyang's face suddenly turned pale. Wait, Lin Su, I admit defeat. What kind of compensation do you want? As long as I can do it, I will. Su Yunyang was panicking. The destructive aura of the Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation that crushed everything was too terrifying. He knew very well that it would be difficult for Su Tianding, a low-grade spiritual weapon, to withstand the continuous crushing of the sword formation. Once the defensive light curtain of Su Tianding was broken, what awaited him? Thinking of this, Su Yunyang's hair almost stood up, and he begged for mercy loudly without caring about his face. What face, what dignity, nothing compared to life. I have already entered the Tianling realm. If I lose my life here, what's the point of entering the spirit world and climbing to a higher realm? However, Su Yunyang wanted to admit defeat, but Lin Su didn't want to listen. For such an enemy who wanted to kill him and might swing a butcher knife at him at any time, the best way was to make him disappear forever. Shut up! An angry shout interrupted Su Yunyang's words. Lin Su's mind moved, and the Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation slammed towards Su Yunyang, covering him like a huge millstone and began to cut and crush him. Give up? Humph! You've used this trick once. I will never let you go this time. Die! Lin Su's eyes were boiling with murderous intent, and he used all his strength to activate the Dian 5 Elements Sword Formation. The sword energy in the sword formation was crisscrossed, and the 5 element spirit swords formed by the sword energy kept hitting the Xianxia light curtain that protected Su Yunyang from all angles. A huge amount of spiritual energy from heaven and earth was constantly absorbed into the sword formation. As time went by, the power of the sword formation continued to increase little by little. At the beginning, the light curtain of Xianxia could still resist the attack and cutting of the sword formation. Gradually, every attack of the sword energy would make the light curtain tremble, and it seemed that it was about to collapse. Little friend Lin, please show mercy. As long as you let Yin Yang go, the grudge between my Xianxia Palace and you will be written off. As the master of Xianxia Palace, I guarantee that no one in Xianxia Palace will cause trouble for you in the future. Su Kangxiang's face showed anxiety. It was true that he disliked Su Yunyang, but he couldn't watch Su Yunyang being killed by Lin Su. It was not only because he was the master of Xianxia Palace, but more importantly, once Su Yunyang died, the strength comparison of everyone present would be tilted. Among the people who entered the heavenly spirit realm this time, Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji obviously became a group because of Lin Su. Originally, their Xianxia Palace had a slight advantage with the number of 4 people, but if Su Yunyang died, Xianxia Palace would be at a disadvantage in a 3-on-3 situation. If they really found some natural treasures, their competitiveness would be greatly weakened. Lin Su sneered at Su Kangxiang's promise, and the grudges were wiped out. That's a good idea. It has always been the people of Xianxia Palace who took the initiative to cause trouble. I just fought back to protect myself. Now I find that they are not my opponents and want to stop. How can it be so easy? Lin Su ignored Su Kangxiang's words, and the spell in his hand changed, increasing the urging of the Dian 5 elements sword formation. In addition to the cutting and collision of the sword energy, a huge pressure also squeezed towards Su Yin-yang. Lin Su, leave a way out for others so that we can meet again in the future. Don't do it to the extreme. Su Kangsheng's face darkened. This kid Lin Su didn't take him seriously at all. Do it to the extreme. Humph. Ha ha ha, it's ridiculous. Lin Su snorted twice, and then laughed. Su Kangsheng, you should say this to the people in your Xianxia palace, right? Just now, when the old ghost Su Yunyang wanted to kill me while I was injured, why didn't you say anything about leaving a way out for others? Don't waste your efforts. Today, I am going to do it to the extreme. Let's see what you can do to me. 10,000 swords to kill souls. With Lin Su's roar, a destructive storm composed of thousands of sword chi was generated in the sword formation, crushing towards Su Yunyang. The light curtain of Xianxia Ding only lasted for less than 2 breaths before it shattered. Ah! Damn stinky boy, I will not let you go even if I become a ghost. With a shrill scream, Su Yunyang's figure was instantly engulfed by the sword chi storm, blood flashed, and his breath stopped abruptly. Hiss. A few sounds of cold air being sucked in were heard in succession, and Yewuji's mouth twitched. Good boy, you are really cruel. Yan Luo Tianzi also had a gleam in his eyes, decisive and decisive, worthy of being the Shura of my Yan Luo palace. Su Kangsheng had a gloomy face and said nothing, while Su Qincan and Su Tiandi could not help but feel a chill in their backs. You won't let me go even if you become a ghost? Ridiculous, will I give you the chance to become a ghost? There is a top master in the ghost world in Lin Su's spiritual field space. He knows very well that the first condition for becoming a ghost is to be able to keep the soul immortal. Under the crushing of Da Yan 5 elements sword formation, Su Yin-yang has been completely destroyed, and not even a trace of his soul remains. What's the point of being a ghost? After releasing the borrowing of Tyrant Bear King's power, the powerful force like a stormy wave quickly retreated. Lin Su only felt a wave of weakness coming like a tide, and his face couldn't help but turn pale. After putting away the Dian 5 elements sword formation, Lin Su sat cross-legged on the ground without saying a word, took out 2 elixirs and threw them into his mouth, and began to practice Qigong to recover. Su Yin-yang had already been completely destroyed. With this as a warning, the people of Xianxia Palace might not dare to attack him in a short time, not to mention that Yewuji and King Yan Luo were watching them. What he had to do was to quickly recover his strength. Under the powerful recovery ability of the immortal Lotus Heart Seal, the weakness brought by the overload quickly faded. After an incense stick, Lin Su opened his eyes, stood up, and looked at Su Kangsheng with lightning eyes. If the Lord of Su Palace wants to avenge his men, just do it. Lin is always here to accompany you. Originally, Su Kangsheng saw Lin Su sitting cross-legged with a pale face and practicing Qigong, looking weak, and was still hesitating whether to attack under Yewuji's attack. Now seeing the divine light in Lin Su's eyes, there was no sign of weakness at all, and he couldn't help but be shocked. What a cunning boy, he actually showed weakness to lure me into action, and I almost fell for his trick. Ahem. Well, I'm just asking for a reward and monthly ticket. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 187. Qincan, Heaven and Earth, Let's Go. Taiwan Novel Network. Rightward arrow. Staring at Lin Su fiercely, Su Kangsheng turned around and ran towards the distance with a gloomy expression. Now that Su Yin and Yang were dead, Su Tiandian was already at a disadvantage in terms of strength. Su Kangsheng did not want to fight with Lin Su anymore. The 3 of them stayed together. He actually left like that. Lin Su watched Su Kangsheng and the others quickly move away, and couldn't help but feel a little dazed. How did they run away? There are no air restrictions in the spirit world today. Lin Su has long felt this. It is not surprising that Su Kangsheng and the others chose to leave him. If he had been in Su Kangsheng, he would have chosen to leave, but the other party left the way he did it made him feel very puzzled. The space in the heavenly spirit realm is not stable. From time to time, space cracks will appear, bursting out the energy of earth, fire, water, wind, and thunder. This is what happened with the wind blade that cut your kid before. Emperor Yama said calmly, and this kind of cracks appear more frequently in the sky. So that's it? Lin Su suddenly realized, no wonder Xianxia and the others did not turn into streams of light and leave. They were afraid of flying up and being attacked. Suer, you are so awesome, you really make me look good. Yewuji walked up to Lin Su, laughed and patted Lin Su on the shoulder, but almost missed Lin Su. What's going on? Yewuji was stunned. He didn't use much force just now. Why was Lin Su grinning? Boy Lin, you were just pretending, right? You haven't recovered at all. Emperor Yama looked Lin Su up and down, with a faint smile on his lips. Your Majesty, the Lord of the Palace, has a keen eye. I am indeed bluffing. Lin Su smiled bitterly. If that old ghost from Xianxia knows that I am in a weak state, he will definitely take action. The power of the Tyrant Bear King is not easy to borrow, not to mention that Lin Su can be said to have unleashed all his strength without reservation this time. His body is overloaded, how can he recover so easily? The previous period of adjusting the interest rate only restored a little strength. As the saying goes, Lin Su was sure that Xianxia did not dare to take action casually and deliberately deceived him. Palace Master, Father-in-law, my period of weakness will last for 3 full days, and I will have to rely on your protection for these 3 days. Just like the wind blade that suddenly appeared before, from time to time a line of fire would appear from all around, or a thunderbolt would fall. Although these attacks were simple, they were extremely powerful. With Lin Su's current physical condition, if he was hit for a moment, even if he had the immortal Lotus Heart Seal to save his life, he would still be seriously injured. Don't worry. If I can't protect you, won't I be blamed to death by Pinger and Yuer? Yewuji gave instructions to the dragon and tiger beast. Longhu, you are responsible for protecting Suer's safety in these 3 days, and you must not let anything happen to him. Do you understand? Ho! The dragon tiger beast roared, nodded, and walked to Lin Su's side. After the monster beast became the pet of a cultivator, although its cultivation level would increase with the improvement of its master's cultivation level, it was also subject to restrictions. For example, the ability to speak human words after refining the Henggu will be permanently lost, unless the Henggu has been refined before becoming a pet beast. Thank you, father-in-law. Lin Su thanked Yewuji, turned over and climbed onto the back of the dragon and tiger beast. Ho! The dragon tiger beast roared in dissatisfaction, and a coercion belonging to a superior monster was released from its body. It did not dare to resist Yewuji's order, but the other party only asked him to protect Lin Su, and did not say that Lin Su should be protected. Get on its back. The dragon and tiger beast is a high-level monster with the blood of mythical beasts. Although it was adopted by Yewuji as a pet beast, the arrogance in its bones is still there. Lin Su's ride immediately aroused its anger. If Yewuji hadn't been there, next to it, it went crazy and knocked Lin Su flying down. Feeling the hostility of the dragon and tiger beast, Lin Sulu was happy. This guy is quite arrogant. But my brain is not working very well and I found the wrong person. Although the dragon tiger beast is the descendant of the divine beast Yuki, and has a trace of the blood of the divine beast, it is not a divine beast after all. Lin Su's body is a genuine dragon. Although it is still a dragon, its dragon essence is more pure than ordinary dragons. It's not even half a star. In terms of bloodline, Lin Su completely crushed the dragon tiger beast. Showing off the power of his bloodline in front of Lin Su, the dragon tiger beast was simply kicked in the head by a donkey. A mischievous smile appeared at the corner of Lin Su's mouth, and he quietly condensed the pressure of his blood into a bundle and passed it towards the dragon and tiger beast under him. At his current state, he could freely control the power of his blood. Pressed. The dragon tiger beast, which was originally growling to express its dissatisfaction, was startled. It trembled violently like a mouse after seeing a cat, and fell directly to the ground, whimpering for mercy from its mouth. What's going on? Yawaji was dumbfounded. The dragon and tiger beasts had always looked majestic. Even in front of his master, they had never looked so timid. Could it be that some terrible monster was about to appear? At the thought of this, Yawaji's nerves suddenly became tense, and he was on guard with bated breath, ready to deal with attacks from around him at any time. But after a few breaths, the surroundings were still calm, and no monsters appeared at all. Yawaji couldn't help but be confused. Longhu, what's wrong with you? Whoa! The dragon tiger beast's whole body was still trembling violently. At this moment, its heart was filled with regret and fear. It knew very well what kind of coercion shrouded itself. Long Way. This is the real Long Way. Although the is a mythical beast, there are also strong and weak mythical beasts. The can only be regarded as a mid-level existence among the mythical beasts. It cannot be compared with the dragon clan at all, let alone the ancestral dragon among the dragon clan who is a super mythical beast. Although Lin Su is only a dragon now, the purity of his dragon essence is close to that of the ancestral dragon. This is the main reason why the fire dragon looked at him differently in the first place. Although dragon tiger beast is the descendant of Yuki and has the blood of a divine beast, having the blood of a divine beast does not mean that it is a divine beast. The power of the blood between the two is very different. This is why dragon tiger beast has a higher level of cultivation than Lin Su. But the reason why he was so frightened by Lin Su's blood pressure that he trembled all over. Okay, stop shaking, I'm almost shaken by you. Lin Su frowned and shouted. Although it was nice to have the dragon tiger beast tremble and express his surrender, Lin Su was in an extremely weak state now, with almost no strength left in his body. It would be embarrassing if he was thrown away by the trembling dragon tiger beast. The dragon and tiger beast immediately stopped trembling, not even daring to move a hair, and let out a flattering whimper from its mouth. It was as obedient as a kitten, without any trace of majesty. Okay, you guy, stop being a good boy. Get up quickly. Lin Su patted the dragon and tiger beast's fur in a funny way. The guy suddenly stood up energetically as if he had been given a shot of chicken blood. He looked up to the sky and let out a roar. At the same time, he glanced at Lin Su and saw that he had no objection. Couldn't help shouting louder. Yawaji was stunned by this scene. The dragon and tiger beasts were so arrogant. Even towards him, their master, they had never been so cautious and obedient. But now when facing Lin Su, they looked completely surrendered. After all, what's going on? Emperor Yama also looked surprised, and then a hint of understanding flashed in his eyes as if he had thought of something. Emperor Yama knew that Lin Su's true form was the spirit Ice Snow Dragon. The dragon was a branch of the dragon clan, and its bloodline power was naturally higher than that of the dragon and tiger beasts. The demonic beasts had a distinct hierarchy that was not comparable to that of the human race. It was normal for such a situation to occur. Crack! A bolt of thunder suddenly emerged from mid-air without any warning and struck down towards the three of Yama and Son of Heaven. Like a ghost, the figure of Emperor Yama became half virtual and half real. Thunder strikes were completely ineffective on him, as if Emperor Yama was in another dimension. A phantom of hundreds of beasts appeared on Yawaji's body, firmly protecting his whole body. The thunder split many phantoms of beasts, but they were blocked. Lin Su, on the other hand, was so weak that he couldn't even do a normal dodge, let alone use transformation. Seeing that the thunder was about to hit his head, his eyes suddenly blurred, and the figure of the dragon tiger beast had already disappeared. He disappeared on the spot and appeared 3 feet away, with electric light faintly lingering between his 4 hooves. The dragon tiger beast is born with the ability to control the power of thunder and fire, and its speed can be compared to that of thunder in a short period of time. Naturally, thunder cannot hit him. Lin Su has its protection, so he will not be hurt by thunder. Can't you tell, you big cat is quite capable. Then I'll thank you for being considerate to each other in the past few days. Lin Su breathed a sigh of relief and patted the dragon tiger beast's neck gratefully. Whoa! The dragon tiger beast whimpered in excitement, its face full of pride and flattery. Strange thing, really weird thing. Yewuji looked at Lin Su like a monster, shook his head and sighed, Sewer, you really have entered the wrong section. If you enter my spirit beast island, with your talent, you will definitely be the best beast master. Beast Controller is the name given to the monks of Spirit Beast Island in Luanzingai. Because they often use pet monsters to help them in battles, they are given the title of Beast Controller. Yewuji's words made the Emperor of Yama laugh for a while. Lin Su was originally a dragon, so of course he could frighten monsters with bloodline power lower than his. It seemed that this old guy didn't know the true identity of his son-in-law. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said that. Brother Yan, what are you laughing at? Is what I said wrong? The sarcastic smile on the corner of Emperor Yama's mouth was noticed by Yewuji, and he immediately widened his eyes and said with some displeasure. You're not laughing at anything. Brother Ye is right. But Boy Lin is already the Shura of my Yama palace, you have no chance. Emperor Yama suppressed his smile and said calmly. Humph. It's true that Su'er is the Shura of Yama Palace, but he is also the son-in-law of this deity. Yewuji snorted coldly and retorted. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 188. 3 days passed quickly. During these 3 days, because Lin Su was in a weak period, the three of them did not dare to go deep into the Tianling realm, and only explored the surrounding area. The place where Lin Su and the other two were located was a sea of clouds. The land under their feet was condensed from clouds, but it was as solid as the real earth, which made Lin Su secretly marvel. However, the land formed by the sea of clouds has a boundary. Beyond the boundary is the real sea of clouds. It looks the same as the land under your feet. If you step on it, you will definitely fall down. If you don't have the ability to fly, you will definitely fall under the sea of clouds. Although Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi have some understanding of the Tianling realm, they have also heard about it from the people in the past. This is also their first time to enter the Tianling realm. They don't know what is under the sea of clouds. They only know that after falling into the sea of clouds for more than 20 feet, they can no longer fly and disappear. It is unknown whether they are alive or dead. Google searched can. Will the people who fall into the sea of clouds be excluded after leaving the human world in the Tianling realm? Lin Su asked thoughtfully, looking at the sea of clouds. Of course not. If you are excluded, why would you say you don't know whether you live or die? King Yan Luo glanced at Lin Su. This kid has always been smart, why would he ask such a stupid question? Oh. Lin Su's eyes flashed with an inexplicable brilliance, nodded and didn't ask any more questions. Because it was the first time for them to enter the heavenly spirit realm, no one knew how to find the passage to the spirit realm, so Lin Su and the other two could only choose a direction at random. In fact, it's not entirely random, because it was not the path chosen by Lin Su and the other two, but the dragon tiger beast. Although Lin Su has the body of a dragon, he is not a monster after all. Although his innate spiritual perception has been strengthened, it is not as good as that of a real monster. In many cases, this innate spiritual perception is often the most correct choice. Anyway, the three of them didn't know which way to go, so they simply gave the choice to the dragon tiger beast. Originally, after protecting Lin Su, the dragon tiger beast should have returned to Yewuji's pet ring, but this time the dragon tiger beast was unwilling to go back, and willingly served as a mount for Lin Su, and voluntarily carried Lin Su on his back. As long as Lin Su praised it a few words, it would be so happy that its tail would wag like a happy puppy, which made Yewuji speechless. Finally, under Lin Su's persuasion, Yewuji simply terminated the contract with the dragon tiger beast and gave it freedom. Anyway, he is now a late stage of Jindan, and to be honest, he doesn't use the dragon tiger beast very often. Besides, when Yewuji subdued the dragon tiger beast, he promised that if he could enter the spirit world one day, he would set the dragon tiger beast free. Now he just brought this promise forward a little. After regaining its freedom, the dragon tiger beast was naturally overjoyed, and was extremely grateful to Lin Su for pleading for it. It had no intention of leaving, and seemed to be addicted to being Lin Su's mount. Seeing this, Yewuji sighed repeatedly. He had been the owner of the dragon tiger beast for so many years, and this guy had never let him ride once. Lin Su was happy to see the dragon tiger beast's attachment to it. This guy had a broad back and soft fur, and it was very comfortable to ride on it. Besides, this was the dragon tiger beast's voluntary request, so Lin Su was happy to enjoy it. Originally, according to reason, although Lin Su was a dragon body and his bloodline was stronger than the dragon tiger beast, the dragon tiger beast was at most in awe of him, and should not be so attached to him. The real reason was that when the dragon tiger beast noticed that Lin Su was riding on its back, its divine beast bloodline showed signs of revival. Although it was extremely slow, it was indeed being stimulated little by little. This discovery made the dragon tiger beast ecstatic. If the blood of the divine beast can be fully stimulated, it will revert to its ancestors and evolve into the divine beast Yelai. So let Lin Su ride it for a while, it will be fine even if he rides it for a lifetime. Hey, big cat, did you choose the right direction? We have been flying for 2 days, why haven't we seen anything? Lazily lying on the broad and soft back of the dragon tiger beast, Lin Su complained a little bored. The three of them had been flying in the sea of clouds for 2 days, but they didn't see anything except clouds. Of course, they didn't encounter any monsters or dangers, which made Lin Su almost fall asleep lying on the back of the dragon tiger beast out of boredom. Roar! The dragon tiger beast roared a little aggrievedly, but Lin Su didn't understand what it meant. Although Lin Su was a dragon and his flesh was a monster, he didn't know the language of monsters, and at most he could distinguish the emotions. On the contrary, Yewuji, who was standing by, understood what was said, and his eyes were wide open with a bitter smile on his face. Father-in-law, what's wrong? What did the big cat say? Lin Su asked in a somewhat strange way, and King Yan Luo also had a probing look. Longhu got it wrong. Yewuji smiled helplessly and said, Lin kid, you asked Longhu to choose the best way. In its view, the safest way is the best way, but safety often means nothing. Speechless, no wonder I didn't find a single hair in the past 2 days, so this is what happened. Communication is indeed a big problem. Father-in-law, do you understand animal language? Lin Su looked at Yewuji and asked. I know a little bit, but I can understand Longhu's words not by this. Then what do you rely on? Beast language ball. Rightward arrow. Yewuji took out a silver white ball the size of a longan and said, hold this in your hand, and you can communicate with the monster. Lin Su's eyes lit up, he looked at Yewuji with hope, and asked with salivation, Father-in-law, do you have any extra animal language balls? Can you? Want it? Yewuji raised his eyebrows. Lin Su nodded like a chicken pecking at rice. Take it. Yewuji flicked his fingers, and the animal language ball raised up in an arc and was thrown towards Lin Su. Lin Su quickly reached out to catch it, happily holding it in his hand and looking left and right. Yewuji smiled secretly in his heart. This animal language ball, it is not a rare thing. Basically, the inner disciples of Spirit Beast Island have one share, and even Yepinger has quite a few. Lin Su didn't know that the animal language ball was so worthless. He thought he had gotten a good treasure. After looking at it happily for a long time, he held it in his hand and started to lick it. Although the dragon tiger beast still made bursts of roars, it sounded different to Lin Su's ears now. Under the influence of the beast language ball, Lin Su could completely understand the meaning of the dragon tiger beast. After negotiating for a long time, the dragon and tiger beast finally figured out the best way. Lin Su touched the sweat on his forehead and let out a long breath. It's really tiring. The intelligence and combat power of this big cat are completely opposite. It took so long to explain to the other party. Thanks to the beast language ball, Lin Su can compete with the dragon and tiger beast. Communicate normally, otherwise if you talk to each other like a chicken, God knows how much time and words will be wasted. After changing the path, Lin Su and the others saw the first treasure after flying for only 2 hours. This is a 7-color flower growing among the white clouds. The shape looks a bit like a rose, but its 7-color brilliance is constantly changing. Before it gets close, an intoxicating fragrance is already emanating from the stamens, and the smell makes people feel a refreshing feeling. Well, it seemed to have a hypnotic effect. Lin Su felt that his eyelids were a little heavy, and he suddenly became very sleepy. Not good. There's something weird about this flower. Just as he was about to fall asleep, suddenly the green lotus in the spirit field space sent out a burst of green energy that penetrated the space barrier and entered Lin Su's body. Suddenly the drowsy feeling was dispelled, and Lin Su woke up. Glancing around, Lin Su was shocked to find that Emperor Yama and Yewuji were also drowsy under the scent of the strange flowers, and their bodies were a little unstable. Lin Su was also about to fall into drowsiness. The huge dragon and tiger beasts below were bit by bit, and they could hardly maintain their flying state. Palace Master, father-in-law, wake up quickly! Lin Su shouted, and at the same time the dragon essence surged inside his body, creating a whirlwind that blew away all the scent. Although the scent has dissipated, Emperor Yama, Yewuji and the dragon and tiger beast have already been attacked. Their figures are dangling in the air, and they are about to fall into the clouds. Otoki Divine Thunder! Lin Su gritted his teeth and fired 3 Yumu Divine Thunders, hitting the bodies of Emperor Yama, Yewuji and the dragon and tiger beast. Of course, he did not forget to jump up from the dragon and tiger beast to avoid being affected by his own spells. Ah! 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 The screams of 2 people, 1 beast, and 3 beasts sounded almost at the same time. Emperor Yama, Yewuji and Dragon Tiger Beast, who had almost fallen asleep, woke up, but all of them had beards and hair standing on end, and their faces were still a little burnt. Which looks quite funny. Lin Su was afraid that he would not be able to wake up the 2 beasts, so he deliberately increased the power of Yumu Divine Thunder. The 3 of them were in a defenseless state, and they were suddenly in bad luck. You brat! Do you want to murder your father-in-law? Yewuji glared at Lin Su angrily. Not to mention his hair, the beautiful beard he had grown for many years was completely scorched by the electricity. It could be said that his image was completely ruined. The Emperor of Yama did not speak, but his eyes flashed with coldness, and he stared at Lin Su maliciously. Although he did not have a beard like Yewuji, his long hair was also electrocuted into a pheasant nest, and his anger was no better than that of Yewuji. Wuji Xiao! The dragon and tiger beast did not dare to get angry at Lin Su, but its big eyes were full of grievances, and it did not understand why Lin Su wanted to hit it with thunder and lightning. Palace Master, father-in-law, don't get excited. I am here to save you, otherwise you would have fallen into the clouds by now. Lin Su hurriedly explained, sweating profusely, that he couldn't afford to offend either of these 2 bosses. Besides, he was trying to save people, so he couldn't take the blame for nothing, right? With Lin Su's reminder, the anger of Emperor Yama and Yewuji suddenly froze. Remembering the drowsy feeling they had when they smelled the fragrance before, they suddenly sweated profusely and looked at the 7-color flowers with full eyes. It's a look of fear. Fortunately, Lin Su woke him up with a bolt of lightning, otherwise he would have fallen asleep and fallen into the clouds, and his life would have been lost in a daze. 200 chapters. Please support. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 189. If placed in other environments, this 7-color flower can only make people sleep for a while, but it is different in the special environment of the Sea of Clouds. It is absolutely a sharp weapon. The most important thing is that you will be hit invisibly, which is simply impossible to guard against. When they thought of falling into a coma, unable to maintain the flying state, and falling directly under the Sea of Clouds and losing their lives, Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji felt a chill. 69shux. Com. Well, good job, good. Thinking of his previous evil deeds and bad looks towards Lin Su, Yewuji's old face couldn't help but get a little hot, but as a father-in-law, he couldn't admit his mistakes to his son-in-law, it would be so embarrassing. So Yewuji simply had amnesia, just pretending that nothing had happened before, and just patted Lin Su on the shoulder and praised him. King Yama was even more direct. He looked away from Lin Su, stared at the 7-colored flower with his mouth and nose, and stared at the 7-colored flower. These two old foxes didn't even say thank you. Lin Su secretly complained in his heart, and glanced at the dragon tiger beast who was looking at him affectionately with grateful eyes. He felt a little comforted in his heart. This big cat still knew how to be grateful. He landed on the dragon tiger beast's back again and patted its neck gently. The dragon tiger beast couldn't help but whimper like a kitten in joy. This flower looks full of spiritual energy, and it grows in the clouds. I wonder what kind of alien species it is. King Yama stared at the 7-colored flower for a long time and couldn't figure it out. Of course, he didn't forget to send out a strong wind to blow away the intoxicating fragrance that was diffused. Although he was awakened by Lin Su just now, who can guarantee that he won't be overwhelmed by this fragrance again? This should be the legendary drunken immortal rose. Although both are Yuanying late-stage great perfection cultivators, Yewuji is much older than Yan Luo Tianzi, and the years of existence of the Spirit Beast Island are not comparable to Yan Luo Palace. When it comes to knowledge, Yewuji is naturally better. After carefully identifying it for a while, Yewuji nodded affirmatively. Drunken immortal rose. A light suddenly flashed in Lin Su's mind. He had seen this name before. In the recipe of soul fire alchemy, there is a kind of soul bewitching incense. After it is ignited, all beings with cultivation below the heavenly immortal will be bewitched. Its main raw materials are the stamens and petals of the drunken immortal rose. In order to avoid the effect of the soul bewitching incense, unless you take the demystification pill made from the rhizome of the drunken immortal rose, you will still be affected even if you close your 6 senses. Although the drunken immortal rose is mentioned in the recipe, it is just a name without too much description. Lin Su did not expect to encounter it here. Looking at the drunken immortal rose with 7-color light constantly changing, Lin Su's eyes suddenly surged with a trace of fire. If he could refine the soul-stirring incense, it would be an excellent weapon to save his life and defeat the enemy. The strange fragrance of the drunken immortal rose is said to be unmatched by the immortals. Sewer, how can you not be affected? Yewuji suddenly turned his head and looked at Lin Su with a strange face. This. Lin Su was stunned. Of course, he was also affected. If it weren't for King Lian's help, he would have been knocked down and fell under the clouds with Yan Luo Tianzi, Yewuji and the dragon tiger beast. But this reason can't be explained. Lin Su could only laugh and pretend to be stupid. I don't know too much, maybe I have a stronger resistance, hee. Father-in-law, since you recognize that this is the drunken immortal rose, do you know how to collect it? Seeing that Yewuji was still full of doubts, Lin Su hurriedly changed the subject. With the power of the fragrance of the drunken rose, if you get close now, you will definitely be drunk. Although you have the green lotus to protect you, Lin Su can't guarantee that he won't be hit. Of course I know. This drunken rose will no longer emit fragrance as long as its roots are cut off. You can collect it with an ordinary jade box. As soon as Yewuji finished speaking, Lin Su had already shot out a wind blade to cut off the roots of the drunken rose, stretched out his hand and sucked it in. As Yewuji said, the intoxicating fragrance no longer emanated from it. A whirlwind was created to blow away the remaining fragrance in front, and Lin Su pulled the severed roots out of the clouds. This was the material for refining the Jimmy pill, and it couldn't be wasted. After doing all this, Lin Su put the drunken immortal rose and its roots into the jade box, and smiled at Yewuji and Yan Luo Tianzi, Palace Master, father-in-law, I can use this drunken immortal rose to refine the soul-bewitching incense. How about I give you some after it is refined? Soul-bewitching incense, what is that? What is it used for? Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji were both interested. Lin Su briefly explained the effect of the soul-bewitching incense, and Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji's eyes suddenly sparkled. Yewuji couldn't help but say, Su'er, hurry up and refine this soul-bewitching incense, it's a good thing. The soul-bewitching incense, which no one below the heavenly immortal can be exempted from, is definitely not less valuable than a top-grade spiritual weapon, and even more valuable. At a critical moment, it is the best weapon for a comeback or escape. Yan Luo Tianzi and Yewuji are both old foxes with delicate minds, and they figured out the value of the soul-bewitching incense at once. Rightward arrow. There are not enough materials now. Lin Su frowned in embarrassment. The main material for refining the ecstasy incense was the drunken immortal rose, but it still needed some auxiliary materials. Although it was not a rare material, Lin Su never thought about getting the drunken immortal rose. So there was no preparation at all. What materials are needed? Green silver grass, coral essence, and the beard of the fire fox. That's all. That's all. That's easy. I have these things right here. Yewuji laughed and waved his hand. Green silver grass, coral spirit, and a calf-sized fox floated in front of Lin Su. It should be the fiery fox. Are these enough? Yewuji looked at Lin Su with gleaming eyes. Enough is enough. Lin Su cut off the fiery fox's beard and put it away together with the green silver grass and coral essence. Okay, Su'er, start refining quickly, Yewuji urged. Now. Lin Su had some sweat on his forehead. Father-in-law, we are flying above the sea of clouds now. Without a quiet and solid environment, I can't practice. As soon as Lin Su finished speaking, Emperor Yama waved his hand, and a 100-foot-long warship appeared in the sea of clouds nearby. He pointed with his hand and said, now that we have a quiet and solid environment, there are many rooms on this warship. You can do whatever you want, you choose. As expected of the Lord of Yama, a giant of the party, he even carries this kind of warship with him. Well, it seems that these two big guys are targeting me, and it seems that I can't survive without practicing. Lin Su sighed, nodded, and said, okay, I will go and refine it now, but I must not be disturbed while I am refining the elixir, and you, the master of the palace and my father-in-law, cannot peek in. Hey, good boy, keep it a secret from me. Okay, hurry up and refine it, I promise not to peek. Seeing that Yewuji and Emperor Yama both nodded in agreement, Lin Su flew onto the warship, randomly selected a room and set up several formations to isolate and detect. Although Emperor Yama and Yewuji promised not to peep, they were not afraid of a spy. 1. Just in case. If he was found to have been sitting motionless in the room, it would definitely arouse suspicion. Then the secret of the linked yen space might be exposed, and Lin Su couldn't afford to take the risk. After checking, Lin Su ordered the dragon and tiger beast that had been following him closely, Big cat, you stay here and don't let anyone pry. Do you understand? This dragon and tiger beast now relies on Lin Su. It will follow wherever Lin Su goes. Hearing this, he roared in agreement and squatted down next to Lin Su. It seems pretty good to have such a pet beast, he. Lin Su did not sign any contract with the dragon and tiger beast. Strictly speaking, the dragon and tiger beast was not Lin Su's pet beast. It was more like a follower or younger brother. Lin Su naturally knew that there must be something in him that attracted the dragon tiger beast, otherwise it would be impossible for him to be so close to him, but if dragon tiger beast didn't say anything, he wouldn't ask. It's good to maintain the current relationship. Sitting cross-legged, Lin Su controlled his soul to enter the spirit field space. Husband. In the spirit field space, only Tyrant Bear King can sense the outside world through the space barrier. Even Shen Baiyun, the Jade Rakshasa in the early stage of transcending the tribulation, does not have this ability, let alone Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu. Although the Tyrant Bear King can sense Lin Su's situation, it never bothers to take the initiative to investigate unless Lin Su is in danger. It only eats and sleeps in the spirit field space all day long, and rarely communicates with Ye Ping'er and the other girls. So these women are completely blind to the situation in the outside world. Seeing Lin Su enter the spirit field space, Ye Ping'er and Leng Lingyu immediately gathered around and asked Lin Su about the situation outside. Lin Su briefly described the situation of the past 2 days. Ye Ping'er heard that her father Ye Wuji was outside, and she couldn't help but feel a little nervous. Husband, father doesn't know that I am in this space, right? Of course I don't know. I told him that you and you stayed in Yama City. If he knew that I brought you in together, my father-in-law would kill him. Lin Su had a bitter smile on his face. Husband, don't worry. As long as we don't leak it to ourselves, Daddy won't know that we followed you into the spiritual world. Ye Ping'er laughed and said, it's just a pity that I can't go out and see what the heavenly spirit realm is like. Auntie, don't be so stupid. Lin Su was shocked. If he really wanted Ye Ping'er to go out, why not reveal the secret right away? You are just joking. This is no joke. Lin Su wiped the sweat from his forehead. Okay, I have to refine the ecstasy incense quickly. I can't stay here for too long. Although the isolation circle was set up and there were dragon and tiger beasts standing guard outside, Lin Su still felt a little unsure and did not dare to stay in the spirit field space for too long. After giving the 2 women a few words, he started to refine the incense. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 190. The steps of refining the soul-bewitching incense are different from those of ordinary elixirs. For ordinary elixirs, the main ingredients are first smelted and purified, and then the auxiliary ingredients are added. However, the soul-bewitching incense is different. All the auxiliary ingredients must be smelted and purified, and then placed into a triangular array. Finally, the purified main ingredients are placed in the center of the triangular array for fusion. As for the reason, it is very simple. After smelting and purifying, the immortal drunken rose will begin to emit the fragrance of the immortal drunkenness. If it cannot be immediately fused with other auxiliary ingredients into the soul-bewitching incense, the person who refines it will be fascinated, and the refining will naturally fail. It is not difficult for Lin Su to smelt and purify the materials. With the help of the alchemy furnace, it was completed quickly. It is worth mentioning that due to the guidance of Tyrant Bear King, Lin Su's ability to control the spiritual field space has been greatly improved, and now he has completely mastered the alchemy furnace. The full name of the alchemy furnace is Qianqanbagua furnace. It can be used to refine both elixirs and tools, and can even be used as a magic weapon. However, there is no grade display, and Lin Su has tried to move the Qianqanbagua furnace out of his body before, but found that he could not do it at all. The consumption of Yuan Shen power is too terrifying. Lin Su estimated that if he risked a great loss of Yuan Shen energy to move the Qianqan furnace out of his body, he might faint directly due to the huge loss of Yuan Shen power, so he had to give up the idea of using it as an attack magic weapon. Maybe he can do it when he has a higher level of cultivation in the future? The Qianqan furnace has now been reduced to the size of a palm by Lin Su, but its internal volume has not decreased at all, but has increased several times. When the materials are close to the furnace mouth, they will shrink, so there is no worry about not being able to fit in. After smelting and purifying the auxiliary materials and arranging them into a triangular magic array, Lin Su opened the jade box and was about to put the drunken immortal rose into it. Suddenly, a black shadow flashed by his side, and the huge body of Tyrant Bear King appeared behind Lin Su. "Boy, is this the drunken immortal rose?" The Tyrant Bear King's voice was a little strange, as if he was a little excited. "Yes, it's the drunken immortal rose. Senior Bear King, do you know it?" As soon as he said this, Lin Su knew that he had made a fool of himself. Who is the Tyrant Bear King? He is a demon king in the fairy world, and he has a wide range of knowledge. It's not surprising that he can recognize the drunken immortal rose. A long stream of air blew out of Tyrant Bear King's nose. "It's really the drunken immortal rose. Boy, what are you going to refine with it?" "Refine the soul-bewitching incense, which can make all beings below the level of heavenly immortals fall asleep." As soon as Lin Su finished answering, Tyrant Bear King stomped his feet and stamped his chest and roared, "Soul-bewitching incense? You actually used the drunken immortal rose to refine such a low-level thing? It's a waste of heaven's resources, a waste of heaven's resources. Low level." Lin Su was stunned. "Senior Bear King, this soul-bewitching incense can make all beings below the level of heavenly immortals fall into it. Is this low level? Nonsense. The drunken immortal rose is a top-grade fairy grass. Do you know what top-grade means? It is countless times more precious than the top grade. You actually used it to refine a low-grade item like soul-bewitching incense, which is simply a waste." Tyrant Bear King stared, breathing heavily from his nostrils, looking heartbroken. What should it be used to refine? Of course it's the dream water." "Dream water? What is that?" Lin Su was confused. Dream water is a top-grade water that allows the user to experience reincarnation for hundreds of lifetimes and comprehend the great Dao of heaven and earth. Its efficacy is incredible. However, this water is extremely rare. Even Grandpa Bear has only heard of it. Its most important ingredient is the drunken immortal rose. The Tyrant Bear King's eyes were full of hope. The most important ingredient. Lin Su's mouth twitched, and he said, "What are the other ingredients?" "Fairy fruit, Koolong horn, what else?" The Tyrant Bear King scratched his head, flipped his huge bear paw, and a jade slip appeared in his hand. "Look for yourself, Lin boy." Lin Su immersed his consciousness in it and took a look. His eyes lit up immediately. There were no less than 100 recipes recorded in this jade slip, and the grades were all above the fairy level. Lin Su glanced at it hurriedly. There were several top-grade recipes. What a treasure! Taking out a blank jade slip, Lin Su copied all the recipes directly. If you don't take advantage of this opportunity, you're a bastard. It's rare to take advantage of Tyrant Bear King. If you let him go, you're a fool. Tyrant Bear King didn't seem to notice Lin Su's obvious advantage. He only waited until Lin Su finished copying the recipes before he smiled and said, "Boy Lin, aren't these recipes of Grandpa Bear good?" "Yes, very good. Thank you, Senior Brother King." Looking at Tyrant Bear King's smile, Lin Su felt a little bad in his heart, but he did take a big advantage, so he bowed to Tyrant Bear King and thanked him. "No need to thank me, just agree to one condition of Grandpa Bear." Tyrant Bear King laughed. "I knew there was no such good thing." Lin Su rolled his eyes. He was grateful for what he had received. Those recipes were indeed quite valuable. Knowing that Tyrant Bear King wanted to blackmail him, Lin Su could only bite the bullet. Tell me, what are the conditions? It's very simple. No matter what kind of elixir you refine in the future, you have to give me, Grandpa Bear, a copy. How about that? This condition is not difficult, right? Not difficult. Lin Su was so upset. This Tyrant Bear King was asking for too much. How dare he say that? No matter what kind of elixir you refine, you have to give it a copy. This is equivalent to signing a contract to sell yourself to refine elixirs forever. Who said Tyrant Bear King is stupid? This guy is really wise. He looks honest and simple, and he only eats and sleeps. He has a lot of intestines in his stomach. If he agrees, Lin Su will become Tyrant Bear King's free medicine supplier in the future. Although Tyrant Bear King doesn't like the medicine made by Lin Su in a short period of time, as long as Lin Su can ascend to the fairyland one day, Tyrant Bear King will not have to worry about medicine. Lin Su wanted to refuse, but Tyrant Bear King's medicine formula was too tempting. After struggling for a long time, Lin Su finally agreed with a helpless smile, and then began to check the materials for refining Huimengo fairy water. In addition to the drunken immortal rose, there are also 8 kinds of immortal treasures, including the immortal spirit fruit, Kuolong horn, 9-bend water spirit crystal, and 10,000 years ice jade. Every time Lin Su recited a kind of immortal treasure, his face became darker. After reciting the 8 kinds of immortal treasures, Lin Su's face was as dark as the bottom of a pot. Although Lin Su didn't know these immortal treasures, he knew that they were not easy to obtain just by listening to the names. God knows when he can get all these materials. No wonder even Tyrant Bear King has never seen the dream travel immortal water. It would be strange if it is not rare to refine so many immortal treasures. Compared with the flowers in the mirror and the moon in the water of the dream travel immortal water, it is unknown when it can be obtained, but the soul-stirring incense is much more practical, and it only takes 3 petals of the drunken immortal rose to refine the soul-stirring incense, and the others can be saved. Besides, with the spiritual field space, Lin Su can cultivate the drunken immortal rose by himself, so there is no need to save. So after thinking for a while, Lin Su decided to refine some soul-bewitching incense first. Although it seemed a bit wasteful to Tyrant Bear King, Lin Su didn't think so. No matter what it is, the best one is the one that suits you, and the one that is in your hand is the most real. Tyrant Bear King, as a demon king in the fairy world, naturally doesn't like or use soul-bewitching incense, but Lin Su is different. With soul-bewitching incense in hand, he may be able to turn danger into safety or even reverse the situation at any time. The drunken immortal rose belongs to Lin Su, and Lin Su can't interfere with how he wants to use Tyrant Bear King. Besides, Lin Su has already agreed to Tyrant Bear King's conditions, so this guy is too lazy to say anything, and walks back to his bear den with his fat big butt to continue sleeping. After taking off 3 petals of the drunken immortal rose and putting them into the Kinkinbagwa furnace, Lin Su continued to refine soul-bewitching incense. Lin Su was lucky. The Kinkinbagwa furnace could preserve the properties of the materials in it for a short time without changing. Otherwise, after being interrupted by Tyrant Bear King, all the auxiliary materials that had been smelted and purified before would definitely be scrapped. Lin Su would have to shamelessly ask Yawaji for materials again. Half a day later, as the Kinkinbagwa furnace lit up with a golden light, the furnace cover automatically flew up, and 9-finger-thick and 2-foot-long soul-bewitching incense flew out of the furnace. It worked. 3 petals of the drunken immortal rose, plus the auxiliary materials obtained from Yawaji, actually refined 9 soul-bewitching incense, which completely reached the upper limit of the pill formula, making Lin Su couldn't help but feel happy. Of course, Lin Su didn't forget to refine the Jimmy pill. The refining of the Jimmy pill was not complicated. Just melt and purify the roots or stems of the drunken immortal rose and then condense them. Anyway, as long as the roots are preserved, the drunken immortal rose can be cultivated, so Lin Su cut off nearly half of the stems and refined dozens of Jimmy pills. Ping each of you keep one of these incense sticks, just in case. After giving one to Ye Ping and Len Lingyu, and a few pills to clear the confusion, Lin Su was about to leave the spiritual field space, when he suddenly noticed that Yu Luoxia Shen Baiun was looking at the incense sticks in the hands of Ye Ping and Leng Lingyu with envy. He couldn't help but slap his head. How could he forget this sister? Sister Shen, I'll give you one of these incense sticks too, maybe you can use it someday. Walking in front of Shen Baiun, Lin Su handed over an incense stick and several pills to her. Ah! How can I be so embarrassed? Shen Baiun was a little surprised. Her relationship with Lin Su was at most ordinary friends, mutually beneficial, but it seemed that she had always been taking advantage of Lin Su. Now Lin Su suddenly gave her such a precious incense stick. For a moment, Shen Baiun was a little overwhelmed. Deep down, she really wanted to accept the ecstasy incense. She was quite jealous of its miraculous effect of making all beings below the level of celestial beings fall asleep. But if she really accepted it, she would owe Lin Su a huge favor. The debt of favor is the hardest to repay.